and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it.
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
On behalf of the state, it is my
Welcome and thank you for joining us for this very special celebration. Today is an extraordinary moment for our school community as Garfield is recognized as the only school in the state of California to receive the Civic Learning Award of Distinction. This honor reflects the heart, effort, and values of our students, staff, and families, and we are so proud to share all of this with you. We're honored to welcome several distinguished guests who are here to celebrate this accomplishment with us. Please join me in welcoming Judge Robert Mangano of the Fresno County Superior Court, who is not only presenting our award today, but he is also a proud parent of Alex. We're also grateful to have our Buchanan Area Superintendent, Dr. Kevin Kearney, with us, as well as Associate Superintendent of School Leadership, Dr. Mark Hammock, whose leadership and support continue to strengthen district and schools. We are delighted to welcome back Mrs. Jennifer Bump, Garfield's former principal, who will share some words about the journey that led us to this award and the foundation of civic learning that she helped build here. We also have some very special teachers and staff in attendance, whom I'd like to introduce. Susan Hoffman, third grade teacher, who guides us through civic engagement, fundraising, and supporting others in need. Micah Tan, fourth grade teacher and advisor of our Human Relations Council and current Student Council co-advisor. Melissa Nunez, fifth grade teacher and former Student Council advisor for the past 25 years. And Miss Erin Roberts, GIS and advisor of our Roar leadership team. We're also live streaming today. Maybe you're watching on our Garfield's YouTube channel. Thank you to Mr. Joe Marquez, our Buchanan Area Tech TOSA, for making this all possible. And of course, we would not be here today without the lovely students sitting in front of me today. I want to recognize our incredible leadership students from Student Council, Human Relations Council, Roar Leadership, and the Principal's Advisory of Student Affairs, whose commitment to service makes civic engagement a lived experience here at Garfield. Today, we will hear student essays on the Constitution and thoughtful questions prepared for Judge Mangano. Their voices remind us why civic learning matters and why this award is very meaningful. Thank you all for being here to honor our students and celebrate this achievement. We are grateful for your partnership and your presence today. I now invite Student Council President Haley Gibson to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Ready, salute.
All right, thank you, Haley. And now I would like to invite our former principal, Mrs. Jennifer Bump, who will speak in detail about the work Garfield demonstrated these past few years, leading us up to receiving this award today.
Thank you, Mrs. Bozeman. It's such a pleasure to be invited to this special ceremony, and it's so lovely to see Dr. Hammock, Dr. Kearney, Judge Mangano, Ms. Nunez, Ms. Hoffman, Mrs. Roberts, Mrs. Tan. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate this with us today. You know, when I was hired 10 years ago now as the principal at Garfield, I was welcomed into a family that already valued civic learning, already valued civic education. When I took this principalship from Mrs. Jessica Mell, it was already alive and well. It was really obvious to me the moment that I stepped on this campus that community service, community engagement, student leadership were already foundations of Garfield. And the gift that was given to me was one to continue to treasure it and foster it and allow it to continue to blossom. But I certainly wouldn't want to take the idea that, that Mrs. Bump or that our current students are the only ones who were engaged in fostering this beautiful school community, but that our previous Garfield Cubs and our previous staff members really had something to do with it as well. And now we are all tasked to continue that journey. Your little brothers and little sisters are tasked to continue that journey. Our staff is continued to be committed to growing that within us. And you know, when I wrote this application, the first prompt that I responded to was, what are you most proud of? what are you most proud of? And I don't know why, but that makes me like have emotion in my voice. What am I most proud of? Because I'm proud of a lot of things. But what I wrote in the application was that I am most proud of is that civic education is embedded in the Garfield school culture. And what I described as what I meant by it was embedded, I talked about it being embedded in our learning. It's embedded in our classrooms. It's embedded in your lessons. The lessons that your teachers, that your teachers prepare for you are really full of opportunities to grow in our awareness of civic duties and civic responsibilities and how we can contribute as members of our school community. The second thing I talked about was that leading, the way that we lead at Garfield. Our teachers, our staff put so much into you to develop you as student leaders. You're here as members of PASA, HRC, Roar Leadership, Student Council. We don't have any third graders in the room, but our third grade team here is especially good at making sure that we're involved in learning about civic education and leading. We send third graders out into classrooms to give speeches about civic responsibilities. They come on the announcements and lead you through that. So I just really wanted to honor the learning and the leading, but then also the giving back. Our canned food drives, the way we support the Buchanan Clothes Closet, the way we support through Student Council, the American Heart Association, through third grade, the Valley Animal Center. We've done so many different things here in the past. We've had Coats for Kids, our giving tree. It has just been such a big part of Garfield, the way that we learn, the way we lead, and the way that we give back. And a big foundation behind all three of those things that is a big difference maker is our character development program here, Roar to Success. Raise your hand for me if you're a Roar leader. Okay, we've got some Roar leaders in the room. Nice. I think your foundational work, along with our Roar leadership advisor, Ms. Roberts, is really supporting the learning, the leading, and the giving the back. It's a collective commitment we have here at Garfield, our staff and our leadership here. We believe in developing student voice. We want you to find your voice. We want you to use your voice. After that, we want to give you opportunities to take action. So in those leadership groups you belong to, you learn your voice. Then your adults in your life here help you take action with the things that you believe in that you want to do. And the end result is that we have a Cub community of kids who are compassionate, who are responsible, and they're engaged. And they're taking action as young difference makers today. So if you're in this room, you're here because you are currently a difference maker. You're making a difference maker for our school, for each other, and for our community. So I thank you for those commitments that you have. A couple fun stories that I have, just because I think that examples are warranted in a situation like this. I wrote about, in our application, specific things that happened last year in the 25-26 school year. Did I get the years right? I think so. And those were about our canned food drive. It was about our Valley Animal Center. It was about our American Heart Association. It was about the work that we do here as a school. But collectively over the years, I have two favorite stories. And so I thought if I could just take a moment to tell my two favorite stories. My favorite story, okay, I'll do my favorite last. I'll do my second favorite story first. We had a young man, I do think he might be a 9th grader now, maybe a 10th grader, who was in Miss Bassard's class at the time. And when he was walking to school each day, in the time that we were like putting fertilizer out into our orchards, and there was a little bit more of that around Garfield, he noticed that what was being used for fertilizer didn't smell very good, and he wasn't really happy about it. And so he recruited another Garfield Cub. The two of them wrote a PowerPoint about alternative fertilizers that would not smell bad as kids walked to school. He then went to the Clovis City Council, and he presented his PowerPoint in front of the Clovis City Council, asking them to consider his point of view on how to make it more pleasant for kids on their way to school. And I think it was the teachers at Garfield and the organizations at Garfield that gave him the voice and then empowered him to take the action to go out and be a difference maker. My favorite story, and Alex's big brother was a part of that, and Judge Mangano's son was a part of that, is we had a 4th grade classroom. Mrs. Tweet is now retired. And Mrs. Tweet's class decided that chocolate milk and white milk were not enough opportunities here at Garfield. We needed to have strawberry milk. Do you guys remember the strawberry milk? Yeah, so 4th grade class, Miss Tweet's class, they put together a petitioning for strawberry milk. And then they, with my assistance, they worked with Campus Catering and with, I'm forgetting the name of the milk production company. It's a big one though. Yes, it was Producer's Milk. Between Campers Catering and Producer's Milk, they worked together to bring strawberry milk not only to Garfield, but to every school in Clovis Unified for Valentine's Day that year. And so I really believe that those are two pivotal examples of kids finding their voice, kids taking action, and kids making a difference for each other. And I think that's what civic engagement is. And I think that Judge Mangano would agree that that is what civic engagement is, that we are citizens who want to contribute to our world and we want to make it a better place. So thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this special moment. And Ms. Bozeman, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Hey, thank you, Mrs. Bump. I remember the strawberry milk story. I was here that year as GIS. All right, thank you so much. So at this time, we are going to have our student leadership students, we all participated in an essay contest to reflect on the Constitution. We have our top 3 essayists who will read their speeches. We actually have one who is out of town, so when it's his turn, I will introduce him and I will play for you a recording of him reading his speech. So I'd like to first invite 5th grader, it should be 4th grader, Evelyn Fossey to the podium to read her essay. Let's give her a round of applause.
My name is Evelyn Fossey, and I'm in Mrs. Tan's 4th grade class. I think the Constitution is still important today because it gives and protects everyone's rights. One example is that everyone has the right to go to school no matter your hair or skin color, how much money you have, if you are disabled, or your culture and beliefs. The 14th Amendment of the Constitution says that no state may deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. I think one of the most important laws of the United States is ESSA, or the Every Student Succeeds Act. This act requires that every student gets high-quality education and is taught to high standards. This also means that even disabled and special needs students are allowed to come to school. I think that it's important for everyone to get equal education because everyone should be treated fairly, and education is extremely important in future life success. Without the Constitution protecting everyone's rights, not everyone would be able to come to school.
And next we invite Umber Bath to come on up and she will read her essay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Umber Bott, and I'm in 5th grade in Miss Nunez's class. I think the Constitution is still important today because it is the backbone of how our society functions. Without it, the civilization will be in a state of complete anarchy. The Constitution provides clear directives pertaining to the governance of a society. It gives civilians the rights to meet their daily needs. One of the key rights is the freedom of speech. This right gives U.S. citizens the power to speak up against injustice. Another example of how citizens get involved in the government is voting. This right was one of the hardest to obtain and went through several amendments, such as the 15th Amendment and the 19th Amendment. Today, anybody at the age of 18 or over, regardless of gender or race, has the right to vote for a leader who will work towards their best interest. If citizens fail to obey the laws of the Constitution, our entire nation would crumble. It would make it harder for us to live in a safe environment. To conclude, I think the Constitution is still important today because of the facts discussed above. Thank you for your time and attention.
Okay, and our third essayist, again, could not be here today, Emilio Barrera, so we do have it recorded, and we're ready to play.
Hi, my name is Emilio Barrera. I am in 5th grade, and my teacher is Mr. Olin. I think the Constitution is so important today because it provides the structure for government, protects one's rights, and creates a system of checks and balances. I think that the First Amendment is the most important because it gives the freedoms of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Therefore, it gives us basic rights for our country that we have today. The Constitution starts with 3 powerful words: we the people. Not one single ruler, but all of the people in our country, including children. The Constitution protects everyone by letting them think or have their own opinion without being afraid to be hurt in any way. The Constitution also helps everyone grow up to chase their dreams. When I grow up, I might become a doctor, engineer, or even an architect, but the Constitution gives me the right to make my own decision.
Let's give Emilio a round of applause. He'll watch later with his family. All right, at this time, please join me in welcoming Judge Robert Mangano of the Fresno County Superior Court, who is going to present the award to us in a moment. We'll have some opening remarks from him. Let's give him a round of applause.
Before I get started, I think maybe most importantly, or at least penultimately most important, how many people like the strawberry milk? See, I thought that was pretty incredible. When I was a kid, that was pretty special. It was hard to get, so I thought that was pretty neat. At that time, I think it wasn't as popular here. It was over a majority, so that's great to hear. As judges, we could talk a lot, and people, I think, unfortunately, have to listen to us talk, and they kind of smile and pretend it's interesting. So I will try not to talk too long. But I can only really echo what Ms. Bump had said. It was, I had seen the application. I have reviewed the materials from the California Department of Education, and it was what she said. I'll summarize. It was that all of you were learning, you were leading, and you were giving. And that's the ROAR values as part of Garfield and part of this community. I am proud to be here just to celebrate you and all of your colleagues in winning this award because I'm a member of the community. I have a child in this system. I have a child here today. I'm a member of this community, and seeing all the hard work that all of you've done, I'm confident, just as your teachers are, your parents are going forward, that our world will be a better place following the values from the Constitution, but it's really the values that all of you are expressing by learning, leading, and giving. So, learning. No matter what you think, school and education is the most important thing. You are learning about our civic values, you're learning about the Constitution, that grandiloquent expression regarding the First Amendment, we the people, a really deep and incredible aspect of political philosophy. The power in the United States belongs with we the people, not some far-off ruler or not someone who's going to tell us what to do. That's incredible that you're learning it right now. I had to learn that much later in life and in graduate school, in learning all about that, as well as leading. You here have done, you've had education, as I talked about, but you've also had elections. You've learned about our civic values. I heard that one grade had an election. What was better, dogs or cats? Very fun. We all know the answer to that, but I want to ask the question about that like I did for strawberry milk, but that is incredible. But also doing. You have engaged in your community. You've raised money for the community, as noted, American Heart Association, the Central Valley or the Valley Pet Center, as well as food cans for members in our community who need those, as well as students in the past. I remember those days about the fertilizer. And so that how neat that you can be involved in your community. So the takeaway I want to give to you, and I think why you have learned so much in getting this award and receiving this award, is to be part of a civil society, you have to be engaged. And you get that through the tools that you're learning here today in Garfield. Again, learning, leading, and doing. If you take those values today as you go forward, you will serve your brothers and sisters, the members of community, and your society, making the place, our society, a better place. So I want to commend all of you. I also want to thank all of your parents who I know helped you on that journey, as well as the teachers, the wonderful teachers we have here at Garfield. So you are all, and all your friends and family are to be congratulated for all the hard work you've done. And it's a great honor to be here to award this award and reward to all of you. So thank you so much to all of you for all the hard work you've done.
If you don't mind just staying right there,
Yes,
we have
yes,
some questions
yes,
for you.
of course.
And I love that, we tried to give you the questions ahead of time, but you really wanted to be in the moment.
Yes.
I love that about you, Judge.
Throw the fastballs, please.
Yes. Okay, so our students are prepared. I'm going to have Ellery Howard please stand.
My question
Does she need a mic or? No.
Do you want her to come up?
No, does she need the mic for? You want?
My question is, how do you stay impartial in certain cases?
The question was, how do you stay impartial in certain cases? So that is really the key question, and that is what is necessary for a legal system. So I know all of you know this, but just to kind of clarify that, to be impartial means to be fair. You want, if you have a dispute in your life, you want to be able to, if you need to, go to the legal system and ultimately have an impartial, that is a fair person make a decision who's not biased in either way. So there are to answer that question, there are ethical rules. Judges can't hear cases if they know the parties. So let's say if Mrs. Bump came to the courtroom, I would probably say, oh, I know Mrs. Bump, I can't hear her case. So there are ethical and legal rules on how to avoid doing that. But the way to do that is just to be in our legal system. I am just make a finding a fact or legal decision on what's presented. So you just want to, and you're trained to, and you strive to always do the right thing by being fair, just listening to what is presented to you and making that decision. So I think just like your teachers have to make decisions, or your parents do, a good example, sometimes your parents have a he said, she said. Your sibling might say, oh, my sister did this, and then you might say something else. The parent has to try to be fair and try to make that decision and determination. That's what we try to do.
Great question, Ellery. Next is Ella Elms, and you have a microphone.
Oh,
What is the best advice you have for students our age?
best advice. My best advice to students your age is to really focus on learning and developing a love of learning. When I was a kid, I loved books. I still love books. This was my favorite place to be. So I would encourage you to spend as much time as you can reading and learning. I know there is quite a distraction with all the digital devices and what's going on in our society, but still fundamentally, I think spending time on education, in my opinion, the best way to do that is through the reading of books. That has been a time-tested way of imparting wisdom over the year. So I would say my personal answer to that is read as much as possible. It doesn't matter what you read, as long as you engage in a love of reading, that will serve you well through the rest of your life. So whatever it is, it doesn't have to be legal books if you want to be an attorney, or the person who spoke who might want to be a doctor. Just learning to read now, I think, is critical. That's my biased answer, as I'm an avid reader myself. So, and I'm sure I have some people seconding my
All right, next we have Cyrus Ross Capoletti. There you are.
How hard was it to become a judge, and what challenges did you face?
Well, the process to becoming, I'll just share the process, I guess. The process of being a judge in California is, so it's a fair amount of school. You finish high school, then you have to finish college, so that's 4 years, then law school, which is 3 years on top of that. Then on top of that, you have to be an attorney in the state of California for 10 years, and then you're eligible to be a judge. So it's a relatively long gauntlet, but then on the way, you learn a lot of skills to be fair and impartial, as was discussed. So that is the process in doing so. What was so hard along the way? Well, you have to like school. You have to go through a lot. Certainly in the law, you have to read a lot. But that is the process, and you just have to have the commitment to stay on that process and do so. Other than that, it can be straightforward.
Cyrus, and then next is Alexia Romo.
Before you wanted to be a judge, what did you want to be?
That's a good question. You know, when I was younger, or when I was an undergrad, I thought about being a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I thought that was very interesting, helping people with some of the issues that they might have. But I was always interested in government and politics and political philosophy. But to answer your question, that's something else I thought about beforehand.
Thank you, Alexia. Next we have Stella Solis.
What is your favorite amendment, or the most important to you?
You know, I kind of like picking your children. You can't have a favorite child or a favorite pet. But, you know, I deal right now, I have an assignment in the criminal court, so I deal a lot with the Fourth Amendment. That protects you against unreasonable search and seizure from the government. That means essentially you have the right to privacy in your home and in your thoughts. And so I would say that that is, off the top of my head, that would be my favorite amendment. That essentially in our society gives you, that is the beginning and the bedrock of a right to privacy, that is to be free in your own thoughts and to do what you want to do, to have privacy, which in many nations, unfortunately, we do not. We heard about as well the First Amendment. Many nations do not have the rights to freedom of speech. So that comes to my mind as my favorite.
What is the best part about being a judge?
Being here today and sharing, learning. Well, so let me say this. The negatives of being a judge are when people come to court, they have a conflict. And so let's take a step back for a second. The legal system really comes down to fundamentally if people have a disagreement and they can't resolve that agreement, rather than going to violence, they come to court. And in my personal opinion, the most incredible thing about America is that we have the rule of law. That is, if there is a dispute between political parties, between people, between the police, if someone's accused of a crime, we have an impartial legal system where we address those aspects of it. And it's decided in court, and again, not on the streets or not with violence. So to me personally, I think that's the bedrock of our society, the bedrock of America. So the negatives of that, I guess if you would say so, is when I'm in court every day, everybody has a dispute. Every day is a nonstop try to help people with their problems, but resolve the problem. So if there was one downside to that, that would be that. People tend to not come to court in the best of moods or because they're having a great day, but sadly because some issues have arisen. I think from that, there's a lot of positives because judges can help people resolve things, reach that fair and just result. So I think part of that negative becomes ultimately a positive because that's the key, I think, of what judges and the judiciary has to do. So that can be a negative to it, but ultimately I think it leads to a positive. Anything else? Any other questions come to mind? I'll take some free ones. Keep you out of class. No? Yes. 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 I was a prosecutor before, so I worked in the district attorney's office. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get in trouble by taking. You may. Okay. Yeah, so there is a family court, and so those aspects, families who have some issues, yes, can sometimes come to court, and yes, I did that before for a few years, and that can be rewarding. That can be very rewarding.
What is
Hard to answer. That would be hard to answer. They're all tough in their own ways. Sometimes cases in the criminal justice system can be hard. Those can be quite difficult.
Been super violent?
No. The Fresno Sheriff's Office is responsible for security. There's a lot of deputies in the courtroom. And fortunately, some of those things you might have seen on the news doesn't happen here. We hope that continues. Okay.
How long has been your longest case?
They can go on for years. They can go on for many years, and even something called an appeal. So we've learned about the Supreme Court. I'm here on the trial court, and there's Court of Appeals. So sometimes cases take a while to be handled. The law moves kind of slowly because they want to make sure they get it right. So the legal system is not known for its fast decisions, but that is it's not a bug, that's a feature. Yes?
What would be the hardest stage of school for you?
I like school. I miss school. You guys don't know how good you have it. I enjoyed it all. Law school can be hard. There's a lot of reading, but I miss school. If I could go back, I would. I probably will soon. But law school, there's a lot of reading. Yes.
What's the funniest case you ever dealt with?
I I'd have to think about that. There's not a lot of humor generally in court. It's a little more serious, but it happens. I'll think about that. I'll get back to your teachers. I can cover a class if the teachers want to go. I can. Yes, sir.
When did you first start liking being a judge?
Day one. It's an incredible job. It's an incredible, just what you did to get this award, that's what judges do. We serve the community. We help out. We engage in civic engagement. Here I am, helping out and helping all of you. And it's an incredible opportunity really to serve. Serve as a member of We the People, we are serving the people. But it is a service job. Yes.
How hard is it to determine the sentencing of someone who gives drugs to another person and they die from it?
Yeah, that's hard. That is hard. Most in California, most of the sentencing is set by the legislature. So you've learned the separation of power. The legislature makes the laws. The executive, the president, the governor enforces the laws, and essentially the judges say what the law is. So in California, the legislature sets the penalties, whatever those may be, and then the judges make a decision based on that. I can't do more or less than what the legislature has said. Having said that, there's a lot of discretion, so we engage in a lot of factors. But unfortunately, I'm seeing more and more of those in my courtrooms, and those are hard. Those are hard. Yes.
So almost daily when I'm driving with my dad, I see a lot of homeless people on the sides of the roads that are most commonly on drugs. How is the Fresno County Court solving this problem?
Well, it's not a good question, and I've seen that as well. So it's not the courts. Remember separation of powers that I just spoke about. The courts, the judge. So I don't want to bore you too much. In other legal systems, the judges have a lot of authority. They actually bring cases. Here in our system, came down from the British, it's actually called the civil system. Judges just make the decisions. We are just fair and impartial as to the first question I was asked. And so it is law enforcement. So in your issue, if it's a criminal matter, the police would investigate that. They would hand that over to the district attorney's office that would make a decision to prosecute it. If they decided to prosecute it, it would be filed in court. The other person in our society, incredible aspect of our society, they're given an attorney for free to protect the person. And then at that part, it comes into the court, and then we get involved. But all of that, we're really very passive recipients and just make the decisions, make the fair and impartial decisions based on the law that the legislature gives. Yes? So, boy, these are good questions. We have in California, United States, laws. We also have regulations. And so, not to bore you too much, but since you asked, regulations are by the executive branch. We have administrative branches that create regulations. Those regulations tend to be what are similar to license that you talked about. Now in California, it can be a law as well. Those tend to be civil penalties, and usually the goal is to have that person get that license. But like in everything in life, everything in law rather, very case specific. You have to find out more about that. But I tend not to see too many of those. Yes? Main problem? Just, the volume of work and reading. Most people, it's kind of a joke, but it's somewhat true in law school, their vision gets a little worse and they didn't need glasses. Oftentimes they'll need glasses just because they're reading so much. So that would probably be it. Yes? Yes. Aspects of it can be. I think it's weird. If you guys ever come to court, if you want to, you can ask your teachers, we can arrange it. People, when they come to court, either love it or find it very, very boring and dull. So when I was an attorney, people would come and watch the cases because sometimes they had some excitement. But sometimes people go and they think it's kind of slow and not that fast moving. So you'll either love it or hate it if you go, but there is certainly some human drama. But movies are better than real life.
May we proceed with
yes,
the
of course.
awards?
Sorry,
Yes.
you're in charge. Yes, thank you. Thank you for all those questions. And this is why you won the award, because you were so involved. So, again, thank you to all of you. Thank you.
to you, Judge Mangano. I'd like to invite Mrs. Jennifer Bump up to the podium. Oh, we're going to be on the side, actually, I believe. Would you like to come over here?
Yeah, you're in charge. I follow directions well.
Okay. So, would you like to present us with the
Oh,
award?
no, I didn't see the next. Yes, all right. So, on behalf of the Fresno County Superior Court in the state of California Department of Education, I present to both of you as the recipients, based on all the hard work that you've done, this incredible 2020-25 Civic Learning Award of Distinction. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for coming. I enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Hold that.
I'll hold it for you. Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to close out our ceremony. Thank you all for being a part of our special celebration today. Today's ceremony reflected the best of Garfield, our students, leadership, our staff's dedication, and the strong partnerships that we share with our families and community. Thank you to Judge Mangano for your time and the honor of presenting the award to us this morning. To Mr. Kearney and Mr. Hammock, thank you for your continued support and leadership. To Mrs. Bump, thank you for returning today to celebrate with us and for the groundwork that you laid that helped Garfield earn this distinction. I want to say special thank you to Albert Pichardo, Miguel Zhang, and Peter Gonda, our custodians, for always setting up and tearing down each and every event that we host here at Garfield. Mary Scott, Nancy Sternfels, and Aaron Roberts for all of the behind-the-scenes organization, and for our teachers for promoting civic learning and positive behavior at Garfield. Most of all, I want to thank all of you, students. Your efforts, your curiosity, and your commitment to serving others are what brought us here today. You make Garfield shine. We are deeply proud to receive the Civic Learning Award of Distinction, and even more proud of the community that made it possible. Thank you again for joining us. We look forward to continuing this important work together.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did it!
You earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did it!
You earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it!
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it!
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it!
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did
You
it!
earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did it!
On behalf of the state, it is my honor to present the Civic Learning Award of Distinction to the Bear Cubs of Garfield Elementary.
Whoa, we did it!
You earned it with your service and your big hearts. Congratulations.